Last episode, I slapped down a couple of new buildings and jammed them full of small farms in order to create a blaze cake factory. But there's a problem. Currently, I have to manually supply the netherrack, which is used to make cinder flour, and I want to get that automated today, which means we'll get infinite blaze cakes without us ever having to do anything. And that means we need to automate netherrack. Now, to do that, we've got a bit of space up here, but what we need to do is make a nether wart farm, we need an andesite farm, and then we need to mix those two together to make the netherrack and feed it into this chute here. But I don't think there's going to be enough space up here for all that. So we're going to make a brand new factory to make andesite and maybe a few other things too, and also another truck train thing to transport everything around. And I think the first thing I want to sort is the nether wart farm, and potentially the machine that's actually going to make the netherrack as well. But to get this started, we need some soul sand, which we've got plenty of over here. And to actually make the netherrack, it's quite small. We do need to make sure we're providing heat to this thing, so I guess that's going to make it a tiny bit bigger, but we can easily fit that over this side, which means I'm going to turn this entire side into a nether wart farm, which I guess is going to be quite similar to the sugarcane farm we built last episode, but without all the water. And because netherite only grows to one tall, in theory, I should actually be able to layer it like this. But that is going to make it hard to plant things, so maybe I should wait until I've actually filled up the ground floor first. Speaking of which, have I even got any nether wart? Kind of. We have not much. I don't think we can bone meal it, but I guess we can take some to try it out. Nope, as I suspected, it cannot be bone milled, which means we're going to need to wait for that to grow. But I wonder, is there another way to get some? We can crush up nether wart blocks. Well, I guess that was kind of obvious. I don't think we've got any of those, though. So, yeah, I think we're just going to have to play the waiting game. But I guess while we're waiting for that to grow, I can at least sort out the contraption that's going to work this thing. So, just like last time, I'm going to use gantry shafts, and a gantry carriage there, with a barrel on the back, bunch of harvesters across the front, and a portable storage interface. And I guess just for symmetry, we'll put another barrel there, not that we really need it. And then another row of harvesters across there, and technically we could put a third layer in as well, but I don't think we're going to need that much nether wart. But it's good to know we can upgrade the farm later if we do. But I need to make myself some more harvesters. So let's jam those in there and get all of this glued together. So that's the base part of the harvester done. Now we just need to sort out all the fancy redstone stuff. And for that to make sense, I think I'm actually going to move that across. I'm going to put the redstone contacts in there instead, because then it means I can keep everything over here flush with the wall. And there's no harm in that being a block over as long as we stick it on. Then we need a couple of observers, a bit of redstone dust, and a pulse repeater, which I need to run back to the airship to actually make. So that should be everything. There we go. And that is connected. Just need to set up the gantry shaft. And, yeah, it'd probably help if we gave it some power, actually, wouldn't it? And handily, we can access that from back here. But I do want to make sure I can control how fast that thing's going. So we're actually going to put a, rotational speed controller. We're going to stick one of them in here. And then I'll look at getting it hooked up to the main power line. So if we jam that on the bottom there, 16 revolutions, I think that's going to be absolutely fine. I reckon if we just go across the ceiling like this, that should work quite nicely. I think I just need a gearbox there, make that vertical, and stick a shaft in. There we go. Now, if I give this a pulse, it should wait a couple of seconds, and I need to switch the directions on this. Let's try that again. There we go. They're both going to harvest. Excellent. And then it gets to the end, it comes back. Okay, this is all good. What I need to do here, though, is just put in a portable storage interface. So that will take the nether wart out, and then we can send that off into the new farm over here. So if we just extend this time to 1 minute, then yeah, once a minute, that will fire. So we'll just keep an eye on this barrel. We'll come and check it every now and then, and we'll pick up any of the nether wart that's ready. But in the meantime, let's figure out the next steps. So what we're going to eventually do is put a chute here, which will feed into this drawer controller slave. And if I use oak trims across here, they'll blend in with the floor a bit more, but they'll connect to the rest of the storage system. We'll just wind those drawers a little bit further round. We'll stick these here with a couple of slave controllers. Then we need a mixing basin here. Then we'll have a couple of depots there. And our good friend, the mechanical arm, doing a little bit of that. Now I need to make myself a mixer. Just going to poke through the ceiling a little bit, but that's fine. We can work around that. We'll just put cogs at either end there. We'll encase that one. Oh, no, we can't do that until we've actually attached a shaft. So let's just do that first and then put a cog on that one. So if we just do that, that's all those bits connected. And if we just encase that, it's a little bit more hidden, I guess. And then we'll just have a nice simple belt here that's going to feed all of the netherrack into this chute here. Let's add another one. There we go. Although I guess it'll also be nice to be able to back up some netherrack. So let's just do that. So this one's going to handle the nether warts. This one's going to handle the andesite, although I should probably sort that out. Let's put a filter on it first to make sure that's nether wart and only one. We want to set this dude to forced round robin. Get rid of all that sugar. And let's set this one up for andesite as well while we're here. So, heat. I want to feed this thing with lava because lava's easy. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is to pump some lava up here, but I'll just do that into these. And then I'm going to need to pump that into a spout. So I need to get power to this thing. I think the best way is probably going to be a vertical gearbox going that way with some cogs. And then we need another spout. I need a spruce drawer for empty buckets. It's probably worth me making a few. Then I need a depot and some andesite funnels. So that one should empty the buckets out. That one will put the buckets in. Although that one there needs to be a brass one because I must filter it for empty buckets. So let's do that. And then I should be able to squeeze in a mechanical arm so it will deposit stuff in there. It will take items from there. And it will deposit them. Oh, no, that's not what we wanted. Let's start again. So we want to... No, we don't want to do that. So, we want to take items from here.
The guy's an idiot.
We'll get there eventually. So, we're taking items from here. We're putting them here. And we're putting them here if they're an empty bucket. I think that should work. So if I start placing buckets here... Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. He's just rotating them around the barrel. So, lava. We need some in here. This is probably going to take some fancy pipe work. So, if we go this way... This is a bit of a problem. I mean, we could just loop around like that. I'm sure no one will notice. Then I just need to power that pump there. So, cog there. Cog there. So I've had a change of heart. I'm just going to pump it directly from the tank down here. That's just going to keep things much tidier up here. That's definitely working. This is good. Just need to power the belt over here. And our netherrack field's coming along nicely as well. We've pretty much doubled the size of it. But we've still got a long way to go before we can fill the whole floor. And then the second floor. So the last thing we need to get all of this fully automated is andesite hooked into this storage system. And I think I want to do that right about here. So if we just dig down a little bit, we should find... Yep, there they are. That's the drawer system. So we'll lock that to andesite. And now up here, we should have andesite on the depot. Yes, we do. Excellent. Other than getting the nether wart farm a lot more full and then putting a chute here so that it loads up, and of course automating andesite, this is done over here, I think. We'll make it look nice later. I want to make sure it's definitely working first. And that means we need to make an andesite factory, and I'm going to stick that down right about here. But currently I have no idea what it's going to look like, so I'm going to go make myself some dinner while I ponder it. And then when I come back, I probably won't be any the wiser, and we'll just make something up as we go along like we normally do. So I'll see you in a moment once I've made some decisions and got some resources. And sorted out my inventory. What a mess. Well, I'm fed and watered, and I think I've got a bit of a plan. But that plan involves Viridium, and I don't really have much. We've got almost a stack there, but besides that, we're looking pretty light. So we do need to get ourselves some more of that. And I think I want to give these a go as well, which are umber bricks, but we can make them fairly easily with the machine we made last episode. We've just got to take some scoria with us, and we've got plenty of that. But yes, Viridium, we do need to find some of that. But if I remember correctly, I think I know where some is. So right at the start of the series, we had a mine that was over here somewhere. Not entirely sure where. In fact, it might have even been a bit more this way. So I'm going to have a dig around, see if we can find it. But there should be a mine entrance around here somewhere. Anything? Aha! There it is. Although while they're here, we might as well take out these phantoms as well. Membrane's hard to come by. Come here, you. Well, we got a membrane. That's always nice. Anyway, back to what we were doing. I believe there's a big chunk of iridium down here somewhere. In fact, I think I can see it already. Yeah, look at this. Loads of the stuff. So I'm just going to wait for my drill to fill up and grab a bunch of this. And after a bunch of drilling, we've got almost 3,000 viridium, which is way more than we need. We probably only need a few stacks, but at least we've got plenty for the future. Now, I just need to make myself some umber bricks, but we can do that right here. So if I just chuck all those in there, and these are the bricks we're looking to use. I think they look quite nice. And while they're crafting up, we'll do what we do best and lay a foundation. I'm probably going to have to move this train signal. It might be in the way. I mean, we might be able to get away with leaving the box there, but these bits are going to have to go. So let's just get a foundation marked out. Ow! Okay. Watch out for trains. Noted. And to be honest, I think that's probably about all I'm going to get away with, because what I do have to bear in mind is the delivery vehicle, because we need to get this andesite over to the power station, and that means we need a truck driving around, and any truck that comes up here is going to need to be able to sort of connect to this building, but it's also going to need to be able to turn around. So I'm currently thinking it can come in this way, go like that, and then reverse into like a sort of loading dock area, and then it should be able to drive off and do its thing. So that's my current thinking, but I guess we'll have to see how it goes. And then we'll have the main part of the building over here. This is where we'll make the andesite. There should be plenty of space. It's not really a big farm, so that should work out nicely, I think. If we just get a ramp in here, then we could even make the car go up a little ramp. That could be quite cool. We'll get a bit of texture in. We'll make it look like this is where the car's been going. A little bit of wear. Yeah, I think that could work. So let's just add a bit of texture to this foundation before we start building. Rough it up a little bit. Now let's go grab some of these blocks. So I want to use these for the ground floor of this building here. So we'll do the main building there, and then we'll have the sort of loading bay area over here. Something like that. Let's build up the walls and see how it looks. So maybe something like that, and then if we give this a slopey roof, we can sort of build out the rest of this. Hello? Looks like the health and safety team's arrived. And now they seem to be leaving of their own volition, probably because the trains are coming. That's it, away we are. So I'm thinking maybe a shallow sloped roof like that, and then we'll have a sticky outy bit on top here, for which we're going to use a little bit of oak. So let's just quickly get these walls built up so we can see what we're working with. I'm thinking maybe a sort of shallow arched roof for this side, just to kind of mirror the warehouse a little bit. And then maybe we should punch some big old windows in here as well. In fact, let's make them some angled windows maybe. So if we do that, gives it a nice little shape. Let's go with that. Although for that to work with actual windows, I guess we're gonna have to make the wall double thick, but that's fine. Okay, not bad. But let's maybe punch some windows in down here as well. In fact, let's give these some windowsills down here, just like that. With some lovely ornate windows. I think they're gonna fit nicely in here where they all join together. Nice. So let's add some support with our good old girders. Maybe I'll extend them up these corners as well. Let's get some windowsills on these big ones as well. How does that look? I mean, it's pretty good. Maybe we need like a walkway, one of these type things over this side, potentially. Maybe. We'll come back to that. Let's sort out the roof first. And I also need more girders to put the rest of the supports in. So for the roof, we want mainly cut viridium. We'll have a few bits of polished cut viridium as well. And we'll use some normal viridium, I think. And maybe on this one, we should put in a roof light of some sort. Maybe using some of the darker glass. And then I need to figure out what I want to make that roof out of. If this one's green, who knows? But we'll tackle that in a minute. Let's get this roof on first. Maybe I should put a trim on this one. Bit like that. That's got a nice trim. Maybe we could do a dark oak trim. Something like that. I think that could work. Yeah, let's get this built out. Well, that roof works quite well. We've even got an open window there, which I think looks pretty cool, but I'm still not sold on the front here. So let's see if we can add a walkway, which I guess means we'll need to swap out one of these windows, but that's not a problem. Maybe something like that. I think that's fairly simple, but does the job. We just need to make it make sense up here now. So if we, okay, we're gonna need to place this one like that, and then we should be able to, nope, wrong way, okay. Let's place it like that, and then we should be able to clip that. Brilliant. And we'll put a door in here. Well, that was a short-lived window. Then let's maybe just add some random detail in. And maybe we can even chuck an encased fan in there. Well, that's looking much better in my opinion, but we really need to sort out this roof and do lots of texturing pretty much everywhere. For now, though, I'll just get the roof in, and then we'll probably move on the inside and start making this farm. We can always make the outside look nice later, because I might have to switch it up a bit just to get the delivery vehicles in. And for the smaller roof down here, I think I'm going to use deep slate. I think that'll tie in nicely with the darker windows we've got going on up here. Yeah, I think I'm sold on that. The deep slate looks nice. But now I need to start thinking about the inside here because, well, we need to do lots of andesite making. How are we going to do this? So the recipe we're going to be doing is going to use flint, gravel, and lava. And if we need 2 flint and 1 gravel, I do wonder if maybe we could just use millstones, you know? Because then all we'll need is 3 cobble generators. 1 of those can go into 1 mill and give us gravel, and 2 of them can go into 2 mills, which will give us gravel, then flint. Guaranteed flint as well. And then those 3 can just be put into a mixer. We'll pump in some lava. That should be easy enough. We should just be able to pump that straight into the basin. And then we'll get andesite out the other side. That should just about be it, really. I think this could be quite an easy one. And with the andesite that comes out of it, I do want to send a bunch of it to the power station, but because, well, this thing up here is really, really slow, I think it might also be worth dumping loads in the warehouse as well, because that way we'll have loads of stock for, well, whenever we need it, really. But I don't really want multiple delivery trucks coming to one building, so what we could probably do is connect it up to the draw system. I think my draw controllers have got a range of like 75 blocks, so if I was to put it maybe like over here somewhere, then it should reach both warehouses and that building, meaning I can just dump the andesite into a drawer over here, and it'll appear in a vault over there. And then we'll build a new truck for some fancy delivery as well, which will then go over to here. And then all the andesite that goes in there will get turned into netherrack, which will turn into blaze cakes, which will power everything. Oh, it's all coming together. So I'm going to do a bit of crafting first, just refill these slots so I don't have to craft along the way, and then we should be good to go. Well, my backpack's full of goodies, and I think we're good to crack on. And the first thing I want to do is, well, I think I'm going to work backwards on this, basically. So if we want to make sure that we're feeding andesite into the warehouse, which is way over the back there, we've got a little bit of work to do. And that work is going to start in this corner right here. So the first thing we need to do is just get this connected up to all the other drawers. And then what I need to do is move this drawer controller, because the way they work is they have a range from here, and it's a cube, basically. The default is 25, so they work for 25 blocks in every direction. However, I've upped it in the config to 75, which I believe is the max. So if we nab this away, go back down our hole and go over here somewhere, so about there should be fine. If we actually jump into free cam and go through the floor here, we're in a much more central position, and that means that hopefully all these warehouses are actually going to be attached. But obviously for that to work, I do need to attach the other warehouse. I should probably do that now. So I think I've got it all linked up, but I need to test that it's actually going to work, and I think the easiest way to do that is going to be to put a spruce trim in there, go all the way to the furthest point away, which is going to be the building over here. Put that there, put a funnel on, put trim in there so only trim can come out of it. Replace that with a drawer controller, and if a trim appears, we know that this can connect right the way to the far corner of the warehouse. Ah, dang it. Turns out I didn't actually leave any trim in there, so if I put one in there, it should disappear. Nope, still not working. Oh, no, tell a lie, it's here. Oh, it is working. Amazing. That should also mean that if I chuck stuff in there... Amazing. Cool, right, it works. This is good. And they're dropping back out again. Perfect. So that means our storage network is now connected across basically the entire area for now. But that just means we're going to be able to store lots of andesite without even more vehicles going around. That's going to clog up the network. We don't really want that. But now we've got that in place, we need to start working some things out. So I guess we're going to want some kind of a belt there, and then we want andesite to go in there. We'll put a filter there just to make sure. And when the truck comes in, it will pick up from over there somewhere. We'll figure that out later, which means we need a tunnel there just to split all the andesite that comes through. And we're going to want somewhere to store the andesite that's going to get loaded up. Once again, we'll just do this. So continuing to work backwards, we basically need to have the andesite coming out here, which means we may as well just make it straight in the basin and then have it go where it needs to. So we need a mechanical press on top of that, but we need to fill this basin with lava. But if we go down here, of course, we have lava just over there. And my plan is just to pump that straight into the bottom of the basin. And there we go, that's lava coming in. Let's just cover that hole. Oh, my days. Scared the life out of me, creepy boy. Jeez. I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often, considering the lack of lighting around here. Now, where were we? Okay, so we've got the lava in there, but what we need now is obviously the flint and the gravel. So if we grab a few depots, put a few drawers down, and some funnels, of course, and then we use mechanical arm to take 2 flint and a gravel, put it into there. We'll have another upside-down arm because they look cool. And now we need to work these out. So we need 2 for flint. And then we put chutes back there. And then these 3 will make gravel. And then we'll build the cobble generator just probably directly on top of those, to be honest. But technically, that is all we need there. And if we're clever about the power, what we can probably do is just bring it up through the floor here. Yep, we'll just nab it from over that side. And I do want to speed this up. We want to make sure that this is running at maximum speed. So let's just do that. Stick a vertical gearbox in there and bring power up to here. Excellent. In fact, if we stick another vertical gearbox in there, that means we'll be able to power these. And then if we grab a couple of small cogs and put them there and there, that will get our millstones running. And then for the cobble generators, I think I'm going to use hoppers because I don't trust chutes. Let's quickly chuck in a bit of a floor here, just so we're working on something up here. And for the generators, we just need 3 drills. We'll link them with some chain drives. Then just do that. That'll power our drills. May as well quickly work out the belts down here while we're here. I think that's right. And And then just a bunch of chain drives should do it. Yep, look at that. All the belts are going in the right direction. Wonderful. This is coming together nice and quickly. Just put a filter on the bowl for andesite while I think of it. Don't want to accidentally making something else now, do we? So we still need to get power to this, but I reckon we can just do this. Look at that. I love these encased chain drives. They're so versatile. Right, that's the press working. And I reckon we can connect up the arm if we get rid of that. Get rid of that. Put in a gearbox. Make vertical. Spin it. There we go. Now the arm's going as well. That's looking pretty tidy. So let's sort this floor out, and I think the first thing I want to do is lower it by a block. Otherwise, it's not going to line up with that door. And that'll be awkward. And let's just make it a little bit safer up here. Don't want to get myself caught up in the machinery now, do we? And the last thing we need to do to get this working is, of course, to add all the water and lava. So let's just make a cage to make sure it doesn't leak out first. Grab some water and some lava. We can just steal that from here. Amazing. So we flood the drills. Dump the lava on top. Oh, and if we set this to forced round robin, there we go. So we should get 2 andesite every time it runs. Although this is currently getting wasted. So let's quickly fix that. Just stop that flying out. And there we go. Infinite andesite. Wonderful stuff. Let's just see if we can tidy all this up a little bit. And to be honest, other than a couple of brackets, there's not really much tidying up to do either. It's come out quite nicely. Although we do, of course, still need the safety barriers. And some girders. Got to add some girders. And I guess I should just grab a few proper lights for in here, really. I think what I will actually do is put a threshold switch on this one here. And we'll put a clutch there. Just so when this is loaded, it will turn the machine off. We don't need it running indefinitely and clogging everything up after all. Well, that's worked out nicely and it wasn't too much hassle. But now we've got to work out the delivery system. This could be hassle. And I guess the best place to start is probably going to be around about here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, so that's 8 blocks. That's going to be important to know. So this is the middle. If we dig straight down here, what we know is that the track needs to raise up here and then slope down there. Oh, that's perfect. And this just needs to come straight down there and connect. I should probably go to sleep. That creeper's put me on edge. But basically, for the vehicle to go in there, it's going to come in this way. And I think I want it to reverse into there. So it kind of needs to go round this bit, then reverse up, so it can then just drive off and do its thing. So if we dig down about here, put that there, can this connect, or am I going to have to move the slope back? Oof. No, I'm going to have to move the slope. Only by 1 block, though. So let's link that to there. This is also going to need to link up to here. So the truck can come in, go that way, and then go up that way, and then drive off, and head off where it needs to. That's fine. So hopefully that will all work, but we can't test it until we actually build something to drive on it. So let's figure out this side for now. So the truck's going to come this way. It's going to go down this road. So it's going to need to come off here, isn't it? So let's connect this over to this road. I say road. I'm aware it's rail. And then this truck needs to pull into there. Maybe I should turn it around first, so head off this way. Then it wants to come here, which is over the lava pit. Wonderful. So that can connect there. And then we just need to snake this bit over to here. Looks a bit weird, but it should do its thing. And now the fun part. Signals. We're going to need lots of signals here. Okay, so I think I've got all the signals set up. This one here is for the crossings, so that if the liquid train is in the station, basically, then the truck will not go past the crossing. So that should work fine. And other than that, I've just made a big section in the middle here, which, to be honest, is probably easier seen from above. So because we already have this truck here, in fact, it might be about to do it now. Yep, perfect. Thank you for the timing, sir. So because this truck is already going on this route here, what I've done is I've added signals so that this whole section of road here can only be occupied by 1 vehicle at a time. So that essentially means that if this guy's over here offloading, this truck here won't enter because then it's going to basically crash into him because it needs to go around that corner. So yeah, we've just sort of sectioned off this bit here. And hopefully those signals will prevent crashes between the trucks and also between the other trains. But the only way to work that out is to build ourselves a brand new truck. Ah, and I've just put loads of create stuff in here that shouldn't be in this bag. Dang it. And a short while later, we have a truck. I think that looks all right. It's quite similar to the blue one. I've made the front a little bit longer. I've given it kind of a weird nose thing. And of course, I've rammed it full of andesite. I've also run around underneath and applied stations where we need them. So hopefully everything's going to line up. But I guess we're about to test that and find out. Although I should probably sleep first. It's a bit violent around here. Right, that's better. There's no scary things around anymore. Let's take this thing for a test drive. So, we'll go round this way. If we follow this road round, and then we can go to the left up ahead here. Go around to the left again. And reverse up to this station. And that's connected underground, although we do need to cover up the lid of that. It looked a bit weird there. And then when we set off again, we'll go back across this crossing. So I think I need to maybe make that crossing a little bit wider. We're right on the edge there. Follow it around this way, then this way. And this is the bit that may or may not work. It might be a bit tight. So we want to go around here and pull into that station properly. There we go. And if we reverse... Okay, looks like it's working, and it's connected. Amazing. So a couple of minor changes. Let's make that wider. Let's add a floor panel over that, just so we can't see the connector. And then let's find ourselves a driver. Hello, what's this? Tasmanian Devil. You'll do. So let's put him in there. So it's all aligned over here. It's going to pick up Andesite. I think it stays here for about 20 seconds, so it just grabs what it can, basically, whatever's in backup. And then he'll drive off, drop it over to the Blaze Cake Factory, and if we head over here now, with any luck, we should be getting some netherrack being made. Yep, look at that. So we've got, wow, we've got loads of nether wart now. This thing has been kicking it out. Amazing. But that means we can make loads of netherrack, which then gets turned into cinder flour, which when combined with the sugar and the eggs, we get blaze bases, get filled with lava, and we're getting blaze cakes. And we've got, wow, 6,500 of those. So when we do need to up our power production, we're certainly going to be prepared. But I think the best thing is the fact that now we have multiple vehicles going around. This makes me very happy. But now this is all working, we just need to tidy everything up. So I need to get some texturing on these areas. And of course, I need to sort out this road. So satisfying just seeing these vehicles go around. And a few moments later, we've got a road in. I've kind of just dumped some clutter around. We've got a bit of texture on this building over here as well. And things are generally looking a little bit nicer. But I also did some stuff over here as well. This middle bit was really bothering me. So we've actually got a water tower for the trains, you'll be pleased to know. So our steam engines can come along and fill up. And then I've just dumped some other random goods here. We're producing all the bricks, so we've got crates of those. We've got these sort of loom things here. That truck's waiting for the train. I think I might need to move that station back a bit. Looks a bit close, doesn't it? And I even added a wonky shipping container. I basically just sort of stuck a mechanical bearing and a valve on the bottom of it after gluing it all together. But I think that looks pretty cool. And as a result, pretty much everything with inside these rails is now done, at least on this half. But we've still got a whole other half over there to build on yet. And we still have a tiny bit of space here too. But I am extremely happy with how all this is looking. And, well, we've got blaze cakes for days now. Once again, not that we actually need them yet, but we will do in future. But sadly, that's all we've got time for today, so I hope you've enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.